Report to the cloud. Okay, I guess we're recording. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our regular Tuesday night Collaborating Connections Professional Networking Zoom meeting. My name is Dawn Evans-Casey, and I am the leader of the group. Collaborating Connections has been around for the past 7 years, and we are part of the TTR networking family. TTR stands for To the Rescue, and it's been around for over 15 years now. Under the TTR umbrella, there are various groups that meet on different days of the week, different times, and we're happy to be a part of it. TTR, again, which stands for To the Rescue. Rescue is an acronym for the tenets, the principles that we support and believe in. The R is for relationships, which we believe great relationships are the cornerstone of good business, and we encourage everyone to develop and maintain wonderful relationships within our networking group. The E is for education. We not only on a weekly basis share a little bit about ourselves and our business, but we educate each other on, what's going on within our industry, what's important, what are good tidbits to know, as each and every one of us are consumers in our own right, and knowing a little bit more about each other's business helps us give better referrals. The S is for success strategies. While many of us are solopreneurs, in business for ourselves and usually by ourselves, we want each other to know that, you're not doing this all alone. We are sharing our success strategies, things that have worked well for us, how we implemented it, how we maintain it, and hopefully each other can take advantage of that discussion and perhaps implement like solutions. We don't believe that there's no need to recreate the wheel. So we're happy to share with each other. The C is for community, and we are all about supporting our community and nonprofits and those organizations that resonate with something that we believe in and love to support. So not only can we thrive, but we want our communities to thrive as well. The U is for understanding. On a weekly basis, we are not only learning about each other, but we're asking questions to gain a better understanding. What is your niche? What is unique about your business? And how do you help other people? How do you give through your business? And that's our U for understanding. The second E is for execution. So while we love to get together and see each other's smiling faces and share a lot of good information, it wouldn't mean anything if we did not go back that evening, that next day, and execute some of the wonderful ideas and strategies that we have shared amongst each other through our networking efforts. So that is what Rescue is all about, and we totally support. Our organization is generally a membership organization, and where we have generally one company, one business represented in each industry. That way, we're not competing to, share references, or, we get to build great relationships with one wonderful representative company from an industry and share those wonderful warm referrals with them. So please feel free to listen in. If your industry is not currently represented by our membership, we would love to meet you and have you come visit and check us out. Perhaps you too might become a collaborating connector. On a weekly basis, we kick off our meetings talking about sharing words of gratitude and sharing wins that have occurred within our businesses or our personal lives within the past week. That's a way that we get to know each other better and that we get to celebrate with each other, celebrating the wins, celebrating the gratitude, acknowledging thankfulness for things that are occurring in our lives. So I'm going to open the floor and invite, please just raise your hand if you've got words of gratitude or wins to share. Let us know. Jerry?
In terms of gratitude, I would say that it's really pretty simple. This is what's left. I went for a blood test almost 2 weeks ago and tripped on the curb, and faces and concrete do not get along. So, I mean, I was just black and blue all over. Yeah, Pavithri, I think, remember seeing. It was really kind of beyond, but I must say that I feel absolutely fine. I was at the hospital when I tripped, so it was really very convenient to get right inside. And that got all taken care of, and it's just about healed up now. I mean, all that's really left is that, and that doesn't hurt, and it's going away now. So I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, and we had a big event in a friend's son's bar mitzvah in Chicago this past weekend, and we were able to go. So it's double gratitude that Jerry was okay, and we were there to be with family. So it was wonderful.
Right. So that was really good. I can tell you a little story about what happened up there, because I think that goes along with what we talk about.
You can talk about it after.
Oh, okay. The gratitude is what's first. But we'll do that.
Okay. Well, we are happy to see you here tonight and to know that you are feeling better and obviously looking better. So thank you. Thank you for being a part of us this evening.
Thank you.
Do we have any other words of gratitude or wins to share?
I was going to say, personally, Spencer had his post-op and everything's going great. So, yay. One less thing for me to worry about. Professionally, I was telling Spencer, I'm like, okay, wasn't expecting that. So we were at the SCORE event on Saturday, and I was exhibiting. It was a great event, all of those things. The last speaker gets up and starts talking, and he's the attorney who's doing the presentation, and he starts talking about something and then goes, yeah, she came and did a speech for us, and you should go talk to her if you've got issues. And I'm like, that's awesome, because you don't expect to get that kind of validation from somebody you just met one time at an event. So kind of like almost instant credibility, and that led to quite a bit of leads I wasn't expecting. Almost all of those leads are going to be like a one and done kind of thing, but it's an entry point for as they grow, where I can grow with them. So that was a huge win on Saturday, for sure.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations. And I'm just going to add, I already know you have a very impressive presence, Pavithri. So I'm sure that what you shared and with that validation you said that it brought good stuff your way. We're very happy to hear that.
Thank you. I don't know how accurate that is, but thank you. I appreciate the compliment.
Oh, do we have anyone else with words of gratitude or wins that they'd like to share?
Okay, I'm gonna say it, and you guys can, I'm not gonna ask you to guess, but Philip is not on, but he is down working on a couple things. But I am very grateful. We are almost, I don't even know if I should even say what we are, but tomorrow's our anniversary, so I'm gonna leave it at that, and you guys, you can figure out how many years. It's our daughter was even like, are you kidding? No. Not really. It's been a no, it's but anyway, I am very grateful. I'm very grateful. So thank you. I'm very grateful for that.
Well,
For
congratulations
thank
to
you.
celebrate another anniversary. And we all know Mr. Jennifer, Philip is a very important part of what supports you and keeps you going, Jennifer. So we are very happy to celebrate that with you.
I'm very grateful for Mr. Jennifer. Okay. So you're not the first person that's called him that. So if you ever call him that in person, he'll probably be like, ah, did she? No, there is a lady who calls him Mr. Jennifer, but actually, what is there? Ladies, it wasn't behind every strong man, there's a strong woman. I have to be the opposite. Yeah. For me, anyway, that is the truth. There's no way on this planet I could have done anything I do. So I might have, but not. I probably would have been an old spinster somewhere. I don't know. And I'm just saying. I wouldn't have believed I could do it. That's all. I mean, I'm not doing anything that, you know what I'm talking about. But thank you. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wonderful. All righty. CB, I know you got something. Yeah, you.
I always got something. There's always so much to be grateful for. Anyway, as I was mentioning a little bit earlier before, I was fortunate enough to get in and get a shot in my neck this morning to help my cervical 6 pinched nerve. So that was quite wonderful in that regard. Today I learned a little bit more about how to manifest some leads, and so that's good for the business. Um, Things have been a little wackadoodle the last, I don't know, 4 days, 5 days. So I really haven't had much opportunity to sit down and do work, but hoping tomorrow, Thursday, yes, that's what I'm able to do and focus on. So keeping the fingers crossed there. So no, that's about it. I'm sure there's something good back there. We had a good show this weekend. Everything was upside down, but we did okay, so that was fine. Yeah, so that's about the run of it.
How many
All
people
right.
do you have
You're-
attend one of those shows, CB?
Depends upon where the show is. We normally have it in Noblesville. The Noblesville show has anywhere from about 400 to 600 people in 2 days.
Wow.
Then from there, this weekend we probably had 200. But we
Okay.
moved down to the Marion County Fairground, and at the Marion County Fairground, the Hamilton County Fairground is not done being built. So as a result, our space wasn't ready. So sometimes it is best to not do something than to do something just to do it. And that is really the lesson of this past weekend. I am the longest running vendor at the show, so I easily get a lot of the regulars. We sell a lot of stuff, the aura photos, all that stuff. So we're really kind of the cornerstone of the show, or at least a cornerstone of it. So needless to say, we do okay, but yeah, I would have made double if we were back in Hamilton County. So yeah.
Awesome.
Cool.
Is this an outdoor show?
No, indoor. But
Oh,
the nice thing is it was dead enough Sunday. I was able to talk with a handful of different business owners. Um, they're working on creating a Westfield Creative Collective where we can get the creatives, photography, artists, painters, drawers, pottery, whatever artistically creative, and trying to create uh, an art community for Westfield. And so one of the ladies who was at the show, she is kind of in the lead of this, and I was bringing up a whole bunch of ideas and everything about what to do and stuff like that. So she was just giddy, but we are thinking about having sometime during the summer up in Westfield on the Asa Bales Trail, which is nice and wooded, and you can put tents in there and it'll be great, but having like an art show of some sort up there. So I will keep you guys posted when we get that figured out. So
CB,
All right.
yeah,
I know you said if you're in Hamilton County, it would have been a lot more, but I guess the question I have for you is, did being in Marion County give you access to a different demographic and or a venue of people that normally would not make it to the Hamilton County? Like, was it worth in that sense as far as making sure you get something out of being there?
I'm gonna quote Carol because she's real estate. Location, location, location. And the thing is that not everybody got the memo that it had moved. So people knew the show was supposed to be this weekend. They went up to Hamilton County, no show going on up there. So they just went home. Number two is the Marion County Fairgrounds aren't really on a main road. And you really have to take some back roads to get there. So therefore, yeah, the traffic was down. We had one show during a blizzard down at the state fairgrounds, and it was one of the best shows ever. But the problem with the fairgrounds is they're so expensive. You got to pay for parking, you got to pay for all this other stuff before you even get to the show. And so it was really prohibitive to do that. So obviously parking free up at Hamilton County, and that's where we have two shows generally every year. So it was just the quick change. Not a lot of people knew, and the Google, if you Googled the Marion County Fairgrounds and got directions, it didn't take you to the Marion County Fairgrounds. There were a lot of people that were complaining about that too. So
And I was also gonna say bad weekend with the Big Ten being in town.
not just that, we were dealing with Comic
And the
Con
monster truck
Yeah.
stuff.
and the monster trucks. There's a lot of stuff going on this
Mm-hmm.
weekend, and it's hard to get people to come out in the pouring rain like we had Saturday afternoon. And not to be all Tennessee, but man, those are some gully washers. So it's kind of rough. So, but it's okay.
CB, what kind
Right.
of show are we talking about here?
This is a metaphysical, new age health type fair show. We have all sorts of things from like the Aura camera with readers, Reiki healers, crystals, animal communicator, which is obviously the crazy red haired lady, aka my wife. Um, just a whole assortment of different new age modalities and things to go along with there. So generally at the facility that we were at, Marion County offers, I guess the best way to put it is a long-term multi-show contract for some of its vendors so they can be in on any show. Think basically Gutter Helmet. So you'll have everything else going on and then you'll have Gutter Helmet. But they made a deal with the fairgrounds that they can be at any show they want to be at. And so there they are. So sometimes things align, sometimes not so much.
When is your next show? That's
The
close
next
by.
show, the next show will be up at Hamilton County, and that's going to be, I think it's the 21st, 22nd of June. It's that weekend. Hours generally are about 10 to 6 on Saturday and 10 to 5 on Sunday. So,
Right.
yeah. And
Cool.
Catherine did make this past show. She was a little under the weather from Friday. She, I think we may have gotten some food poisoning, but anyway, yeah, she didn't make the show. So, yeah, she did okay.
Okay. Well, thanks again, and glad that you got there and at least happy experiences and made some new connections there, CD. Good going. Let's see, my words of gratitude and wins. Well, last week, after I posted our meeting recording to social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, I went back and watched some previous of our YouTube recordings back in 2022, 23, and 24, which I recommend that for everybody. If you have a chance, if you have the time, to go check out some of those older recordings and meet some professionals that were visiting or previous members of Collaborating Connections. Those may be good connections as well. While I was looking at the last
No, the other one.
PTR authentic videos where I was the guest and Nicole and Jennifer were interviewing me, I mentioned some goals for me for 2025 was to do some more integration between my businesses, between travel and Triple Chocolate Spirit and genealogy. So one of my, I'm going to call it a win because it's really my that I survived this year's busy season. It's my getaway. So I'm going to the chocolate festival in, I think it's Edison, New Jersey, the end of this month. And we'll be posting, blogging, and blogging while I'm there. And one of the things that I'm going to do in, I think it's May or June, there is a chocolate festival in Illinois that's going to be going on. And I'm going to plan a trip around that so that others who are interested in traveling and enjoying can do that as well. So that's my win. My words of gratitude, I want to thank Jennifer for sharing the recording of Lisa's TTR Presents from last week. It was fantastic. It was all about delegation, how to do it, how to make it effective, etc. And I really enjoyed it. So if any of you haven't had the opportunity to check out the recording of it, I would recommend, I know that it's been posted to the TTR Networking website. So go out there and check it out. It was absolutely fantastic. And I am thankful to Lisa and her knowledge base in sharing that with us. So that's my words of gratitude and my win.
That's actually really good to hear that, Dawn, because, and if everybody, just so you know, when I sent out the email, I sent out the recording link, but I also sent out two things that she provided, which was the PDF of the presentation, as well as her time audit exercise that I would recommend everybody just checks it out because it really makes you think about what you're doing with your time. I know everybody's probably an expert at that, but it still just kind of reminds you, it's like, oh boy, what you can do yourself and what other people can do. So glad that you got it, Dawn. And I just figured, who doesn't need some insight on delegation, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So good.
really good.
Good. Glad to hear it.
All righty. Do we have any other wins or words of gratitude to share? If not, I will ask our fearless leader, Jennifer Johnson, to give us updates on what's going on within TTR Networking. Jennifer?
Thank you. Can you guys hear me? I'm sorry. My computer's had some real issues, so I'm trying to do my as far as being unstable, which I already laughed quite a bit at the beginning of this meeting, but I'm not unstable. It's just my connection is. But I would tell you there's a lot of things. You guys, next week. I realize we're only on Tuesday, but next week is the last week of March already, and we're looking at April, and we've got some things like happy hours and some events that'll be happening. Keep your eyes on the calendar, and I try to send that out to everybody, and you get different things through different email stuff. So keep your eyes on it, but tomorrow, I would just remind you, if you're not doing anything, I don't know, Pavithri, I may be jumping the gun here or not thinking, but tomorrow night is oh, so sorry, the
Bright
Bright
Idea
Ideas
Show.
show. Yep, Bright Ideas, as you're rolling your eyeballs. She's not full of bright ideas, right? But it's no, not you, me. But that is at Nexus uh Impact Center. And that is with Ryan Henry. And the big thing is he's only doing it quarterly now. So if you kind of like that format, if you've ever been to the Bright Ideas show, he was doing it monthly, now he's doing it quarterly. This is 4 speakers featuring the Kellerman Howard, I believe, with the Indianapolis Indians. And so his goal is he's got 3 other speakers plus this Howard Kellerman, which I guess if you listen to the Indianapolis Indians, you might be intrigued about that. But it is kind of like a TED Talk format kind of thing, if you're familiar with that. And but in between, you get to you network with the people that are there, and so there's 3 other presenters, and then Howard, I would assume, which may be some mistake, but I'm believing he's the big finale at the end. So and just to remind you, if you're a member of TTR, you get a free membership. It's it's a special deal for our members. So reach out to me. I know I signed up for it quite a few weeks ago, I think. So but I would assume you can still
Yeah.
get on
You
there
can even
today.
sign up day off.
And it's free. It's free if you are a member. So
Yeah.
if you're looking for something fun to do, I've always come away from those events, even the night I spoke, kind of just kind of renewed again with that adrenaline rush that you get when you know you're making good, solid connections. And now he's only doing it quarterly, so I would just recommend you do that. Next week, and I would just put it out to everybody. I know that a number of you may not have the ability, but we do have a Givers Gain is our Wednesday morning 10 or 9:30 to 10:30. And they're on Zoom, but next week, next Wednesday, we're going to be at Sarah Care in Indy, which is a member, and they are hosting us. But the Givers Gain group is going to meet in person. A lot of our groups are now starting to, I guess maybe with the weather and stuff, it just got everybody kind of inspired to get out once a month and see everybody. The Zoom calls are great for convenience, but we all know why we like to get together. So that is next Wednesday, the 26th of March. And that's from 9:30 to 10:30. And Sarah Care's all excited. They've been asking me how many and what do they need to provide. They do a real nice job of hosting us. And then we will have theirs as once a month. So it'll always be the last Wednesday of the month. And if you're a current member of another group and you've got that chunk of time free, join us. We all are looking at April with a couple different happy hour events, and I've got to confirm a couple locations. We may have 2 or 3 of them. I mean, it's April, people. We're gonna have we're gonna party and have fun. We've just had people asking about a happy hour. There's not necessarily, we've done that in the past. I know a number of you have shown up to those over the last few years we've had them. But we've got a member now who has got 3 different restaurants that they own and run. And they volunteered. They got volunteered, but they are very happy to have us come and be there, and we'll keep you posted. And that's open to everybody too. And then we're also going to try a location in Fishers that one of our groups meets at, and I want to do a happy hour pretty soon. So just keep your eyes on that. And we've got some business workshops that are coming up. And if nothing else, mark your calendar for Thankful Thursday, May 15th. And that is at the Cohatch in Broad Ripple. So put that down. I was supposed to have a meeting with the girl, I think tomorrow morning, but we've had to reschedule. But they are very excited to have us, and every Cohatch is a little different. We've been to the one that we all love, the Polk Stables, but this one is a little different setup, little different. It's an old church, I believe. So, and that is going to be here before you know it, which is kind of nice because I like May, but we're not going to rush it. So I don't know if I've missed anything that's on the calendar right now. We are always trying to plug in TTR Presents, and like I said, we've got some other workshops. And if you're a member of us, you get to go to a number of Inspire Small events. And I'm trying to get better about mentioning those. So anything I'm missing, Pavithri?
Yeah, I just want to tell everybody who has been to Bright Ideas before at the other location. Nexus does not have a restaurant or
Menu?
anything like that. There will be snacks and water and stuff. There is a vending machine, but so I would make sure, like with Spence, making sure he's got his food, diabetic, he doesn't have a sugar crash in the middle of the show. Just making sure that you were aware of that, that there
Yeah.
will be no actual like meal time available.
Okay, so can they bring food in though? That's okay, right?
Yeah,
Because they have events there all over the
yeah,
place. There's
absolutely.
another Nexus Impact Center. Dawn, didn't you have an event for this group a couple years ago there or
Okay.
Yep,
somewhere? Didn't we have it
yep.
somewhere? I remember that, but I
Was
know
it
they
with them?
don't. But yeah, that's a good point. Thank you,
It's where the
Pavitri.
old Weight
Mhm.
Watchers was.
There you
Having
It's
their
the
go.
little
same
court.
place that we
Oh, yeah.
did the preview party last year.
Yeah,
It's in
yeah.
that same room.
Okay, and that was really nice. That was a good size.
That's
That
off
was a good
96th
space.
Street.
So
It
good.
will no longer be live streamed like it used to be.
Oh, okay.
So, which also means that we're bringing back the absolutely inappropriate clips for how not to get sued. Because we no longer have to worry about um, intellectual property. So,
Interesting. Okay. Good points. Glad you were
yeah,
here.
so you can
Obviously,
enjoy it.
obviously, Pavi 3 is our resident global partner on the oh, Lisa might have been on here, but I think she's traveling or getting ready to anyway. So okay, thank you, Don. I think that's a good update. And yes, my voice
And
is
how do
so
we
much
say,
better. Huh?
what's that?
I said my voice is so much better. Oh my gosh.
Aw-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm
I was
just
going to ask, how do we stay connected to
Oh, you're
TCR
good.
Networking?
You're good. You're good. Yes, so if you want to really keep up to date, right now it's probably looking a little shabby because most of our, not shabby, but a little sparse because I haven't got all these events on. The Givers Gain group meeting next week is probably on there. But yes, to the rescue, all spelled out, to the rescue, in.com. You can also find us at TTR Networking if you want to. You're just going to have to go. That's the networking page. And you know what? As members, you get to go on there and complete your profile and update it. And if you have events, we talked about that a little bit on a couple of our calls. You can't actually go on there and do it yourself, but you can send it to me. I will get it added. So please, if you have an event or if you want to post on our social media, you can do that. I usually do have I think on most of our stuff, I have a filter. I want to make sure nobody posts anything crazy, but you know what? If you remember, you and I try to go out and find stuff. I mean, if I see something, I try to post it again. Our global partners get that as, you know, part of their deal as much as I can do. But you guys can actually go post too. So don't hesitate. We want people to find us. So anyway, hopefully that's the answer to the question.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Last but not least, we did talk last week about an event for this coming Sunday at the Cheesecake Factory, not only for collaborating connectors, but you know, our family, our friends, others who are interested in connecting. So I do need to get numbers for our group. So if you're interested, I think what we'll do,
Busy with Max.
I don't know what sounds, 3 or 4 in the afternoon, because we don't want to be in the midst of a busy time with our size group. So maybe 3 in the afternoon, is that doable?
I think so on a Sunday.
I'm not sure it's going to work for us. We have baseball for our grandsons on Sunday. But I'll let you know depending on what time the games are.
Okay, very good, very good. So I will send out text or email or both just to touch base definitely with collaborating connectors to see who's available and interested in that. All righty. Next up, we are going to go into our roundtable introductions, and I want to ask Pavithri, are you ready to introduce yourself and your business?
Yes, ma'am. Before I get into my business, I do have some good news for Jennifer. I met with Oscar today on a one-on-one, and he just got approval to join TTR. So he's going to be sending all that over, and he'll be officially joining us. So we'll have a new member.
Cool. And your opinion, thank you. Your opinion obviously is positive. Oscar is
100%. Yeah.
very connected.
Mm-hmm.
Oscar is a mortgage person,
Yeah,
right?
he just does personal mortgage, but through US Bank and his personal life, he's got a wide array of contacts through Indiana as well as Illinois. So he's a good connector for our members for sure.
Good.
So,
Thank you. I appreciate that. I kind of heard that through the grapevine through Mimi. And that's good to know. So,
yeah.
and it, obviously, I don't know if he and Carol know each other, but it sounds like maybe they should. So,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Thank you.
Yep. Hi, everyone. I am Pavithri Kilgore with KPS Consulting, a fractional human resources company that provides hire to fire full cycle HR for small to medium sized businesses across the country. We do that with a angle in labor and employment law, especially federal, state, and local government agency compliance. You're more likely to have a government agency show up at your doorstep long before a lawsuit does. And right now, the alphabet soup is extra engaged on small businesses. They're having a little bit of a field day, and they're making some easy money off of the small businesses because unfortunately, ignorance is not a defense they accept. So my goal is to make sure my clients, my friends, or anybody who owns a small business is in a good place when a government agency shows up. You can give them what they need and tell them to go jump and leave you alone and let you keep your own money because they can't have any. You can't stop a government agency from showing up because legally under the law, they are required to take every complaint, whether it has any merit or not. So they have to take it, they have to look into it, then they can give you whatever the verdict, right? So you can't stop them from coming. All you can do is make sure you can defend yourself when they do show up. And you don't have to spend $90,000 to do it, please. on that note, 2 pieces of advice. I have gotten tired of trying to figure out exactly where the beneficial owner information filing is as of today. I have some that says it is dead. I have others that says you got the deadline of this Friday. The attorney that was speaking at SCORE is saying that the best course of action is to file and be done with it. It's not a whole lot of information required because the amount of fines you got to pay, which has now gone down to 506 instead of 606, plus jail time. Oh, sorry, 506 a day plus jail time is sure as heck not worth it. If you have multiple businesses, EINs, you have to file one for each one unless you are operating under a parent company with subsidiaries and or DBAs. So Don, CB, if you guys need help talking through that, let me know. More than happy to. And if anybody is planning on hiring employees or contractors, please make sure you're having them fill out the right paperwork that corresponds to what kind of classification you're going to do. Don't give your employees a stack of papers with state and federal W-4 forms and an I-9 to fill out, and then say, oh no, you're a contractor. You're responsible for paying your taxes quarterly because I don't withhold taxes. That's a recipe to get a misclassification charge. That's a 3-year look back as well as 3 times the penalty. 3 times the payback is your penalty to the government. So 2 big lessons coming out of today. And there you go.
Okay, Pavithri. Just
Somehow I
because.
knew that was going to come.
Press
Yes.
release. Treasury Department announces suspension of enforcement of Corporate
Again?
Transparency Act. This is March 2nd.
Yep,
And
it
Treasury
has been.
Department announced today.
It came out today again.
It did?
Well, I usually look at the end of the night because I can't keep up with the tennis match during the day.
Yeah.
Because it changes so many times. So usually this is my nighttime job is about 10 p.m. to about 2 a.m. is looking at executive orders and court filings. So I know what is actually in place because if it's during business hours, it changes. So you guys keep going. I'm going to double check on my sites and I will come back with a update if there is one. How's that?
That'll work. That'll work. We appreciate.
Absolutely. Any other questions?
If they come into your business, do they need a warrant or they can just come in?
Depends on the agency. So Department of Labor does not. Department of Labor, which OSHA falls under also, any entity through the Federal Department of Labor or the state workers' comp, they do not need a warrant, nor do they need to inform you ahead of time.
Okay.
They can do surprise visits, show up, ask you to show them where things are. Can they take your records out of the building? No, not without a proper, what's called a RFI, request for information. If it is the Department of Homeland Security, which governs all of the immigration, ICE, INS stuff, they can come in and request to see your I-9 documentation. They cannot take those without a subpoena.
Okay.
And if they don't have one, you can tell them to go get one. Can ICE show up and arrest people? Yes. As an employer, do you have the right to stop them? No, it's no different from a police officer showing up to arrest. All the employee or the individual impacted can do is to request the warrant. And if they don't have one, the employee can request that they go get one. So that's a gamble you gotta play.
Okay.
All
you.
other government agencies, it honestly really depends. Department of Human Rights or the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission does not usually show up. They are too they're very much about sending that paperwork in first, saying, hey, we have a charge, here's what it is, and ask you to respond before they would ever show up. And they 90% of the time, they prefer to have you show up at their office. So I will also say with the Department of Labor, especially if there is a audit of time clocks and pay and things like that, just because they ask doesn't mean you have to give. You can absolutely reduce that scope of work and what they are asking for. Like I've had somebody, a Department of Labor ask when I was in staffing, asked for 3 years of documents. And I responded back with, you do understand we produce 1.2 million W-2s a year. And then immediately came back with, can I just have like the last 6 months with for any employee with the last name starting with these alphabet letters? Sure, no problem. That brought you down to 10,000. Do you want me to have it shipped to you or how do you want it? So it's literally like giving them the facts back to like, do you know what you're asking for? Helps to kind of get them to narrow down that scope. I'm sure it's way more information than any of you ever wanted to know. Sorry.
No, Pavithri, I do have a question for you. Score. Can you tell us, I mean, can you just give us, where would we, those of us that did attend, were able to attend, I think we all were curious about like membership because they don't charge anybody anything
Yeah,
for the
you
services.
just nope. Nothing they do is a cost to members, and in order to be a member, all you have to do is go sign up and request a mentor, and then you have to follow up with the requirements of having a mentor and what is required to do that. And everything you get access to through SCORE is free, including resources.
Yeah.
If they're going to recommend somebody, they are required by law to provide you with 3 options. So they
Okay.
can't play preferential treatment on any one group. So if you need to figure out who does microloans in Indiana, they will give you 3 options that you can shop out and see who's the best fit for you.
I gotcha.
Yeah, same with everything else. And it
Hmm.
doesn't matter what stage of the business you're in. It can be a startup, it can be somebody who's been around for 10 years, but is looking to kind of grow or do anything different with your business. You can go to SCORE and ask for help.
Cool. Do they have, just real, you don't have to tell us everything. What was the question? Oh, so how do they pay? Do they, I mean, not do they pay? How do they get funded then? Through
So
the
all
big,
of the mentors are volunteer,
right?
and almost everything that they provide are done by volunteers that have been vetted. The reason, one of the
Okay.
big reasons why they have to give that 3 is because they are part of the SBA. They are funded by the government and they're highly regulated, which is why they can't just go, oh, here's a contact, go talk to them.
Right. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Because it was a very, I would hope you would keep us posted and maybe some
Absolutely.
others are going to get involved too. But Pavithri, I mean, invited anyone, you know, that could join. And I was just glad that I definitely met some new people. So that
And
in, you know,
they
great
have
event.
webinars every week that
Right,
you
I
can
did.
take.
I'm on their email list now. And
Yep.
I actually had heard of SCORE before. So, but I just never taken advantage of anything and saw a lot of people that have been in our network or, you know, visited and stuff. So it was really good. But thank you.
Yep.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Pavithri. Next up, I would like to invite maybe Bjork. Are you ready to introduce yourself and your businesses? Maybe not.
Sorry.
Maybe he's mobile.
I'm
There he is.
driving and I'm on the iPhone, so needless to say, yeah, not easy to do. So pass me. I'll be home in about 5 minutes and I'll be
All
right
right.
back for the next.
No problem. All right. Karen and Jerry, it's you guys. Are you ready to introduce yourself and your business?
Yeah,
Sure.
Jerry's going to talk my allergy. I feel weird. So I just took an allergy pill. So I'll talk for both of us.
Anyway, we are with Melaleuca, the wellness company. And all of this happened over the past 2 weeks. I can tell you without a doubt that
Can I what?
Melaleuca oil and penetrate made this really go away extremely fast.
The bruising.
The bruising part of it. And it really just made a huge difference. I mean, I was ashamed to be on camera when this first happened. It looked like a disaster. But anyway, that worked out real well. The products are above and beyond, and I really believe the reason that I heal so quickly is because of the vitamins and supplements that we take literally every day. And it really does a great job of reducing inflammation, keeping our body in good shape and whatnot. So that's one of the things that we do. And it's really, from our perspective, it's really a matter of how can we help people who have any kind of an issue that we can, help them with. It's not a matter of trying to get people, it's a matter of really the focus that we have. I will tell you a little story about this past weekend. We were in Chicago, like Karen said before, for a bar mitzvah of one of our very close friends. And one of the things that they did Friday evening was they had a dinner for all of us at Chris. And Ruth Chris has always been one of our favorite places to go. The beef is good, and service is good, and everything else is good. So we were really excited to go there. And interestingly enough, Karen ordered a filet, which is her favorite, and I ordered a New York strip, which is my favorite. Came just the way they normally do, was made perfect. I asked medium rare, and it was perfect. And, we ate, everything was fine. And, about 3/4 of the way through, which is totally out of character for me, I said, I'm really done. And there was some meat left over, which just is not me. Usually I'm finishing Karen's. And then we kind of looked at each other and we said, this is not as good as the Riverbend Ranch beef. We both said it together. And it really and truly was the truth. It's just not what we had become accustomed to with the Riverbend Ranch beef. So take that for whatever it's worth. It's not meant to be a commercial necessarily, but it was the reality. I mean, we both left over, some of our meat, and I don't leave over meat.
He does.
So that was just an interesting portion of it. So anyway, Riverbend Ranch beef is really it's a step above anything else that we've had. So take it for what it's worth.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing that, Jerry.
Sure.
Do we have any questions or comments for Jerry and Karen Stern with Melaleuca?
I would just say though, Jerry, you look a lot better. I'm sorry, I don't want to sound like you look terrible, but last week it hurt when we were looking at you. I just felt bad for you. And you look immensely improved.
Thank you. And I feel that way, and I can see the difference. I mean, the scabs are almost completely gone, steri strips are gone, and the bruising is gone. And a lot of that is really because of the the Melaleuca products.
And I had shared it with somebody, and nobody that's good. I said, poor Jerry was, and actually I was talking to Polly Holtzman, which Polly, but I was
Sure.
talking to her, and I said it just, and I said I know it had to take some real strength and courage to get on the call because it did look very painful. Even if it didn't feel like that bad, it was hard to watch. I mean, it just was. We all could feel for you. And I know Pavithri and I were on the morning call after that, and I was thinking, oh boy, I hope. But you just look so much better. Even though I only see half your face right now, it still looks better. There you are. But that's quite a testament, though. I mean, that's really pretty cool. So thank you. Thank
You're
you for
welcome.
not
Thank you.
hiding. You know, somebody else might just say, oh, I've got, I can't be on the screen right now. And they would not tell us. It's a testament right there. That's pretty cool. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Jerry, if you don't mind, for anybody unfamiliar with Melaleuca, can you run through the categories of the products that Melaleuca offers, just in case someone is interested in any of those various groups?
Yeah, I'll go through some of it. Let me say it like this. We start out by saying we have almost 500 different products that we manufacture right here in the United States. Thing that is not made here is one of the garas that we actually get from Italy. Everything else is made and shipped right here, controlled by us. So that's one thing that really makes a big difference. As far as the categories are concerned, I'll kind of go through what I can. But we have, a full line of cosmetics and things for the ladies. And what? I'm getting coached. But we have, that. We also have the things that people use in, bath and body, the soaps and shampoos and toothpaste and everything else. In fact, I did a little study about a year ago, and I used 14 different products from Melaleuca before I leave the house. Because we really have a wide range of products that we use all the time. And we also have, a complete line of vitamins and supplements that have all been tested and, screened by independent labs, be able to see whether they really work the way they're supposed to, and they really do. We also have a skincare line that is, I'm going to say it's unmatched because you can see it really does work. And it's not a matter of covering it up, it's a matter of healing it. So that's the important part. Things that what am I missing?
Essential oils.
Oh yeah, we have a complete line of essential oils. I don't, some of them around the house and some of them that I use on my skin from time to time. And it really does make a big difference. I mean, one of the things that I love is a product that we have, skincare. It's called Renew. And it really does a phenomenal job of healing and stuff in your hands and psoriasis and those kinds of things. It does a tremendous job. And in fact, one short story will tell you the truth on that. Years ago, and it's really been years ago, we always said that it was better than Eucerin. And Eucerin, was supposedly the best in the market, according to them. And they decided that wasn't fair, so they were going to take us to court. So they did. They lost the case. They had to pay for it. And we turned out to be, I think, about 10 times better than Eucerin. So they were not happy about losing that case. But it really does work, and it's not greasy. It absorbs into the skin, which is, what makes it work so well. So those are some of the things with some testaments. I mean, I can go on, but 500 products, it's a little much. If anybody would like to be able to find out a little bit more, we have this very simple thing that I can email to anybody. It's called "Which products and services do you use?" And I can email it to you, and then you can check off the things that really, that you personally use in your home or on your person. And then you get the information back on those particular products, and you'll find out a little more about what they really can do.
Great. Thank you so much, Jerry. Much
You're very
appreciated.
welcome. Sure.
All righty. If there are no other questions for Karen and Jerry Stern, next up, I see CV is back. So, CV, are you ready to introduce yourself and your businesses? The microphone's not working. All right, we'll go to Nancy. Nancy, are you ready to introduce yourself and your business?
Okay, in the middle of barking. Nancy Veseley. Hang on 1 second. No, you stay here. Okay, Nancy Veseley with Iamerica Insurance and a couple loudmouth dogs. I help people with under 65 with health insurance, supplemental insurance, life insurance, and then over 65, the Medicare market, which right now, unless you're just turning 65, there's not much happening here. What else? I can do small businesses if you, as long as you have 2 employees that work 30 hours, you could be considered a small business in Indiana. I could help you with your insurance needs for that. And so I'm just helping people with insurance and working through making sure everybody's got what they need. That's it.
All right.
Quick thing, Nancy is
Yep.
a lifesaver. Has gotten, I asked her for some information and then sent her like 3 different sets of things I needed. And seriously, like she's emailing me at like middle of the night. I'm like, it's nice to know there's somebody else who's as crazy as I am that responds to emails. So thank you. I do have some follow-up questions that I need to follow up with you on.
Okay.
So need information on anything? Nancy's the person to go to. And she answers dumb questions from people like me who go, I'm sorry, what does that mean again? 2, Nancy, the 30 hours is the standard across the board with the very few exception of California, New York, Massachusetts.
So it's
So,
it's normal. Okay.
yeah.
Didn't know that because I thought it was kind of weird when I heard it's like, what?
Yeah.
Has
30
it
is the
always
pretty,
been or did it drop at some point?
no, it has been that way for about 20 plus years now.
Okay.
Also about the last time the federal government adjusted minimum wage. So yeah.
Okay.
All righty. Are there any other questions or comments for Nancy Veseley and Iamerica Insurance?
I'm just gonna ask her how many, what's your number? Are you on track or am I asking at the wrong time? Oop, you're muted. Yep, there you go.
Nope, I'm like fall behind here because I know it's been a bad weekend, so it's like 110.
But so she could say it's a bad weekend, but as long as she's keeping track, she's going to get it. We know she's going to get it because at the end of the year, even if she is short, or if she averages, or if she's right. I mean, we all talked about that. It's just that regular thing, right? Of keeping, and if we don't talk about it, we don't put it out there. See, CB, I'm still trying to figure out how I can get you to videotape my group playing. Even though you said you don't do it, I'm figuring I'm still gonna get you to do that somewhere along the way. But and because I know you have an eye for that stuff, even if you're not out there selling it, I figure you know what I mean? Maybe you're not trying to make it the main part of your business, but I think that's because we're all in front of each other on a regular basis. I'm still seeing CB as being my video guy somewhere along the way. Nancy's my insurance girl, sorry, somewhere along the way. But you know, the more we can, and you call every interaction with somebody that potentially could do insurance, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we just need to introduce her to more people. I mean, that's what it is, part of it, right? The more people. So anyway, thank you, Nancy. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I figured you had a number, so there you go.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
All right, all right. If there are no more questions or comments for